Hey guys, welcome back to another Legends video. Today we are going back to our spectating videos, and I'm spectating someone who is rank 1 in Korea right now with a ridiculous win rate. Who is this geezer? I mean, you can't see it on my screen because my computer doesn't know how to read Korean. Like myself. What the bloody hell is that? Who knows? However, because I've been away casting LCS for a few days, I assumed I wasn't the first person to become aware of this player here who's rank 1 with a crazy win rate. So I checked on Reddit, I typed in his name in Korean, nothing came up. I typed in rank 1 Korea, searched by new, lo and behold, I saw a cheeky little thread about him. And apparently it's Tarzan on a Riot Smurf. So legit, this guy has ridiculous win rates, he's just nutty. Either way, I want to show you guys how this guy got to rank 1 playing jungle and just absolutely destroying people. I mean, he's up against no slouches, guys. He's up against Cuz from Kingzone, who was rank 1 a little while back, and Khan as well, who's one of the best top laners of all time in Korea. So the first thing that I want to show you about how this guy gets rank 1 before we get into the meat of this specific game is just look at his match history here. Even though there are a few defeats on it, just look at this little number below his item build. Can you see this stuff here? Okay, I can't point to it with my mouse, but either way, look at that control ward number. He buys so many wards when he plays, and as a jungler that's really important because vision is knowledge. Knowledge is power. Kind of cringy, no, but honestly, you get loads of information from buying wards, and you use that information to have better decision making, and with better decision making you surprisingly or unsurprisingly are more successful as a player. What am I doing here? So that's the first thing that that this guy does, is he buys a crap ton of controls. So let me show you his runes here, guys. Bam! Pretty standard stuff for Talia, except one thing is out of the ordinary, which is the absolute focus. I don't see that too often. Usually you go celerity, water walking. Instead of celerity, he's gone absolute focus, which I think is a pretty decent choice, but it is not a particularly common choice, we'll put it that way. So he's done his top side here, starting at top side and pathing to that bot lane. Another thing that this guy does, as we will see as the game goes on, he does not put a huge amount of focus into top lane specifically. He's going to play into his mid laner. Now there is a decent reason for that. The first reason is that his mid laner in this specific game is actually his duo queue partner, but don't worry, he's only played like 3 duo queue games with this guy. I don't even know if they're duo, honestly. It could just be random, but the more important reason is that his mid laner is a playmaking champion. It's an Aurelia, which means if this Aurelia gets ahead, he can, he can snowball really hard. And what's really great about mid laner's role in general is that you have access to the entirety of the map. So if your mid laner is strong, generally speaking, your map presence is strong, and then you can help out the rest of the lanes to be strong as well. Because this guy on his team, this Fiora, is not having a good day. She's 0-2-0. She's falling kind of behind as well. So it's important, that you got to get stuff going on the rest of the map here. So farming is another thing that you want to make sure you're not losing sight of when you're playing jungle, especially these carry junglers. As you saw with the match history, this guy basically only plays carry junglers, Trundle being the exception, but even though Trundle builds full tank, he may as well still be a carry jungler. And here we go for his first proper gank of the game. So he's going to lay down his E first, his Unraveled Earth, and then he's going to throw out his Seismic Shove to try and push him away from safety and onto that Earth for the extra damage. This Ryze is scripting, however, so it doesn't work. He's not actually scripting, but he is a Korean challenger player, so he may as well be scripting. But either way, they get his flash there. So it's important that you lead with your E and you position your W so that the enemy has 2 options. The first option is they get hit by your W. That's the ideal option. The second one is that in order to dodge it, they have to path suboptimally away from it, which then sets them up to being in a bad position anyway, blowing their flash, etc. So in this scenario, when Ryze gets a little bit greedy here, trying to pick off the Talia, it's no problemo because he has no flash. Alright, good stuff. So first proper gank of the game, 0-0-1. A second time as well that Tarzan here has hard shoved this mid lane Foxdrop a lane in. That is another thing that is important to do, guys. You want to make sure that you are shoving those lanes in when you can, especially under the tower, to help deny those minions away from the opposing laner, and just get you yourself get a little bit of extra gold and experience, and also, like I said, you deny it from the opponents. So little things like that. You know, he's probably, I don't know, I can't quite see what level he's at right now. Let's take a look here. He's like 5.5 here. He's probably gained, you know, like a third of a level, maybe even a half of a level, just from shoving those 2 waves in. It's a little thing, but it helps, honestly, especially when you're playing a carry jungler. Dark Seal here is something that's quite common on these AP junglers as well. You get it early before your jungle item, and then you can just start getting stacks early and also increase the power of your potions. Shen's been caught out of position here. You saw Tarzan looked around. It was like, nope. Nope. Not happening. Not helping you there. I'm buggering off. Shen's fine, though. He didn't even play Flash, but whatever. Alright, second variation of his clear here. He's going to take his red buff and path straight to the blue because that's just spawned, but he also knows that there's a good chance. Well, good chance his bot gets dove. His bot did just get dove. And here comes the Weaver's Wall to close the gap and join this play. Flash W again. I'm going to rewind this one right here just to show you how he uses his W. This is the important thing. You want to position your W on Taliyah so that you achieve one of 2 things. Either it hits or it forces the opponent to pass suboptimally to dodge it. So we're going to speed it down here, guys. We're going to zoom in. Pause. There it is. So right here, he's put it on top of the opponent on a position so that if the opponent doesn't path in a risky way for him, he will get hit by this. And what I mean by pathing in a risky way is, if we take a look at the Cho'Gath specifically here, Cho'Gath, to avoid this, is going to have to walk over here. That's the only place that Cho'Gath can walk to not get hit by the circle. He can't walk down. It will still hit him. He can't walk this way. You know, it's still going to hit him. So he has to walk into Taliyah to dodge the W. But that's not going to save him. That's still putting him in a risky spot. He's still going to be under the tower here. He's going to be in a position to take a load of damage from Taliyah still. So it's all about, look at that. So when we fast forward here, or on pause, again, you know, it's positioned him in such a way that he's then had to blow his flash anyway. So when you're playing Taliyah, it's important that you are... I mean, if you guys watch my Road to Masters or anything like that, you know, I play a lot of Taliyah. I'm kind of abusing Taliyah. She's one of the best junglers right now, I'd say, you know, like, she's definitely top 3, maybe even the best jungler. I think Evelyn and Sodoku might be a bit stronger, but outside of that, you know, she's just so bloody strong. But I miss my Ws all the time. I'm really bad with my W. Really bad with my W. But I still have like a 65% win rate on her. Go figure. She's just that strong. But honestly, you know, if you want to get better at your Ws, that's the important thing to notice. Alright, so let's just power through our jungle a little bit here. No ultimate up, so not going to do anything too crazy here. And this is the thing, guys. You don't want to get caught doing your chickens when your teammate needs your help. Uh-oh. You're in trouble now, buddy. Nice W here again. Achieves what he wants to achieve. I'm just going to really quickly rewind this one because this is like nothing happens here, but still it's a little thing that you need to know. Puts the W in a spot where the only way this guy can dodge it is to move suboptimally, i.e. In this case, because this is not an aggressive play, this is a defensive play, away from Taliyah, which is what happens. Not that it makes much difference, obviously, but... And I guess it could have been placed. It wasn't the best W, but you get the idea. I just really want to emphasize that because the way you use your W on Taliyah is really the difference between being shite at this champion and not. Alright, so that's a bit of a floof right there. We'll put it that way. However, you do not get rank 1 by losing games that you fall behind in the early game. No sorry, Bob. You've got to find a way to win even when you do lose these early games, guys, or even when you're not doing too well. The enemy jungler is 3-1-3 and is a Camille, which snowballs hard, and she is 0-1-1. Nice cheeky seismic shove there to get the ulti from Alistar, and now Cho'Gath's pushing a little bit too far forwards here. There is no wall on Taliyah, so not too much is going to happen here. Let's see what else is going on here. Now, I mentioned before you don't really want to play around the top side, Tarzan does not play around the top side that much at all. One of those reasons is because the more important objectives are on the bot side of the map. So Tarzan really wants to play more around the mid lane so that he can get the mid lane going a little bit here, or also with the bot lane so that they can control the dragon a bit more too, and also on top of that trying to farm as well. So the reason why Tarzan is going to hang around here is because we know Camille is in the bot side too. They don't want to give up the dragon here. They want to protect the bot lane from a dive too. So you want to make sure that you're just knocking about so that you are around to influence these plays. This one will be a hard one to stop because there's a Cho'Gath here to potentially feast. But I'm going to pause right here, guys, just because we want to break down how you play this one, okay? Because this is the perfect situation right here. This fight right here, it is the perfect situation where you guys, okay, will lose your game because you play this one wrong. When I say you guys, I should say we, because I'm totally in on this. I'm in on this group as well, okay? It's the plays like these. These are the really huge, crucial, defining plays. If they go well for you, bam, you're sorted. If they go bad for you, bam, you're screwed. Especially when you're behind, you want these to go in your favor. So the dragon is... okay, I'll rewind a little bit here. What do you want to achieve out of this fight? You're going to ask yourself, what do you want to achieve here? What would you consider a success if it went... If something happened, how... Yeah, success. You want to aim for the success, right? So there are several ways to do that. Securing this dragon, that's something of value you want to do. Getting kills, that's also something of value here. However, if you go for the dragon in this scenario, there's a good chance you're not going to get it. Why? Because this dickhead is over here, and his feast is actually on cooldown, but there's a good chance that this team doesn't really not necessarily know that. At least... whatever, you know, it's solo queue, no communication, whatever. So if you go for it, but on top of that, if you position inside this dragon pit here, you can get collapsed on. That's not a spot you want to be in. Camille can turn on you, the guys show up, you get CC locked, bam, you die basically. There's also this unraveled earth, which if I'm not mistaken was here from before when they tried to take the dragon, which is heavily going to decrease Talia's TPS. So she doesn't really want to be in this area, which means in order to not be in this area, she would have to stand like up here or go closer into the pit. Both are not optimal positions. So the best thing to do in this scenario essentially is dragon, just forget about it for now. Turn on the enemy team, try and get some kills here, and if you can, steal away this dragon too. So let's see how it ends up going. Obviously, I've paused at a point where we can see they're catching the Cho'Gath anyway. So they go for the Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath dies. And always positioning further away on Talia. Do not do what I do when I play this champion, which is to melee as Talia and just die. So you can see how Talia kited back here. Kite back. Don't walk up to the carries. Kite back. Now, that play did not go very well for them whatsoever. But they still played it in a way that was going to be the best way they could play it. Two things that went wrong was that the Akali had the first move in the mid lane, and also Ryze teleported down. Now, in the pure 3v3 scenario, that would have worked well for Talia there, but that is just a solo queue moment where, you know, you just get donezo because there's no communication. But you've got to think about it, because they could have easily lost that 3v3 if they dedicated it onto the dragon instead, which is not something, you know, you don't want to lose a 3v3. So instead, go for the kills, play it safe, go for the high percentage play. Don't forget to farm, guys. We said this before. Farm. It's really important. Your red buff's going to spawn as well. And as this is going down, I'm just going to try and hotkeys, camera control. Where does it say? Drag scroll. That is that it? Beautiful. I'm sorted. That's what I need. All right, let's go. Take your red buff, pass to the bot side. You see Camille here. Tarzan, mate, you got to be here. Tarzan also has his wall up, so if they do go for a dive, there's a good chance that he can get a successful counter off. Alright, good stuff. Reset. How much gold has this guy got? Nice. So he had his jungle item. Really important that you want to get your jungle item ASAP. Or at least like when you can afford to get it, bam, you get it. Obviously he chucked in a dark seal, but you know what I mean. Uh-oh, and here. Whoopsie daisy, what am I doing with this camera? Ruining your viewing pleasure. TLDR, jumped on by Camille, ulted by Shen, peeled away. Nice stuff. 2 for 1 in the end there. Unfortunately, our fellow jungler here does have to die, but it's okay. It's worth it. 2 kills for 1 plus a decent shutdown onto the Camille as well. In fact, can I see how big that shutdown was? 600. Unfortunately, it's on Shen, but still, it's a 600 gold shutdown. Beautiful stuff. Oh, and oh, this is cheeky. Tarzan's coming in here for the lane gank. Lane ganking on Talia is actually really sorted. It's really nice to do it. Alright, throw out the E. That is a terrible W, mate. That is one of my W's, buddy. Is it going to matter? Nope, they still get the kill. Holy crap. He's tilted. Tarzan, mate, you're tilted. Don't tilt. It's fine. You got this. Right, this is actually somehow still first by tower in 15 minutes. I'm not sure how, but it is. It's actually that generally AP Cho'Gath bot lane. It is actually AP Cho'Gath in the bot lane. Meanwhile, there's another kill in this top side. Wait, was it top side? Yes, it was. Somehow, this guy's really struggling. This Fiora is really struggling right now. But I mean, she has received a lot of the attention. But it's fine. Because he's working on the bot side here. I don't think they're going to get anything else out of this one, though. Because that is an AP Cho'Gath, which clears ways pretty efficiently. So skip, zip here. Take those walls. Power farm through this jungle because you are Talia. And this is just what Talia does once you get that jungle item. Another reset. What you going to get here, mate? Just a few cheeky little items. Alright. Now it's interesting that despite the Rift Herald being up, still not going to look towards this top side. Just thinking no bother. Why? Because dragon spawning, it's another Infernal, and in order to get a successful dragon play off, you need to have your bot lane in a position of power, a position of strength, which they absolutely have not been this game. Similar thing for the mid lane. Honestly, I can't comment too much on the power levels of Akali into Aurelia. I know this is a really, like, Aurelia is very strong right now, but I don't really know how strong Akali is, honestly. Just because I don't know how that champion works, really. But either way, you want to go in the spot side, get something going, because then you can make a play onto the dragon. Tarzan knows that. He's not just playing for the kills, he's playing for the objective control. So, let's see what's up. The dragon has just spawned here. But holy crap, that is a 4-man mid. So, you can't rush that dragon. Getting that crab would be really useful. It'd be maybe a bit risky, but I think I would have gone for that personally. But maybe, you know, he's ranked 1 career and I suck, so there's that. But just going to give up the dragon here. In a 5v5, I'm not convinced that these guys really have what it takes. They also did just use their Shen ultimate. So regrettably, I believe that is a passed over dragon. Not much you can do in that scenario. I mean, the thing is, yes, you want to go for the dragon, but you really don't want to throw a game by trying to contest things you can't contest. So having the knowledge and having the restraint and not go for things that you can't take is a really good idea. Losing control. Man, Kaz is so good in solo queue. I remember making a video on this guy before, spectating this guy, because he'd been rank 1 and was just like, before he was even on Kingzone, before he wasn't on a team. You know, he's really good. He's a really good player. And like, he's just destroying this game. But he's only played through the top side, which is interesting. Because a lot of junglers do not play through top side. Anyway, let's skip forward here. Being very respectful of the potential of someone being in this top side jungle here. Cheeky engaged by the Aurelia. Tarzan missing absolutely everything. But should still get this kill. There's the wall. And he's going to pick up the kill for the shutdown. All me, baby. Alright, here we go. Put down that E. Just get absolutely destroyed. Because that's what happens when there's an Akali and Camille in your face. And proccing that Fiora ulti really, really helps. You can see where the Akali is. Wow. Oh, there's the flash. Anything going to follow? Yep, double flash follow. And she's down as well. Again, 2 for 1. 3, well, 3 for 1, I guess, if you count the gank. But we won't count the gank. That's worth it. Let's zip on through this bad boy here as well. Tarzan, mate, respawn. We want to watch and see what you're up to. Alright, he's going for his Mulalalamamacom. Good item build, just in general. It's a solid item to pick up. Especially if you want to cut down some healing, which is useful against the Cho'Gath and the Camille especially. Probably for the Kali as well. She's probably got some healing in the kit, because every new champion just has everything, so I don't know if it does or not, but it probably does. Alrighty stuff. Here comes the Rift Herald. Let's go. Alright, so Leah's actually got pretty good wave clear, so she's very good at defending waves. Ooh, that's cheeky. Defending towers and stuff, you just stick her in a lane, and she's really, really good at nullifying those pushes. She has 3 abilities that are really good at nullifying wave pushes. So you just stick her in a wave, there goes the Herald, absolutely nothing comes from it. Beautiful stuff. Alright, skip on through this boring stuff. Nice little Farmville going down here. Looks like they might want to get a cheeky play onto someone. Oh yeah, they see. Oh yes, that's too deep. That's too deep. All right, just turn on Kaz here. He gets absolutely exploded. Likewise for the Akali too. Over aggression there. Over aggression. Asterix coming through from the. Whoa! What's going on here? Okay, they're gonna get something on the Cho'Gath as well. I did not even see that play, but that is 3 dead around the Baron area. You know what that means? That means that it's gonna be the old Naran Basher going down. Honestly, this is, if you're looking to make comebacks, this is one of the ways you do it. You legitimately just wait for the enemy team to go too aggro, and then bam, you just kill them. Too much of an engage there from Kaz to go a bit too deep. But also credit to Tarzan for kind of reading the play and being in the right position at the right time. Stay on the Baron here, boys. It's 2v5. You do not have to turn and kill them. You can turn and kill them if you want to. But what's most important, I mean, these guys provide very little threat, considering it's also a support. One of the two is the support, so you don't have to worry too much. Oof, God bless. But either way, you just want to make sure whatever you're doing, that you're committed to it and you're doing it as a group. You do not want like 1 or 2 people fighting the other 2, just while 3 on Baron, and then things get a little bit ugly. In this scenario, it's perfectly fine just to go for the Baron if the enemy jungler was the one alive, or if it was a Cho'Gath alive. Obviously, with his feast, you would 1000% want to turn there. But in that scenario, you can just go for the Baron. But you could turn as well, because 5v2, you'll kill those people really quickly. But I think the point being, it's not really that important what you decide to do there. Kaz is still looking for the plays, and this Fiora continues to feed his buttocks off. That might even be a 3rd dragon going the way of the blue team here, which is not ideal, but I mean, hey, at this point, whatever. So push Aurelia making things happen. Talia grouping here. Off to the side too, so that you can see this positioning right now. It's important that he positions here because he wants to cut the enemy team off with his wall. So if he stands to this side, you know, and the enemy team say they engage or something like that, you could easily just chuck down a wall, cut off the enemy escape path, and then suddenly you'll find yourself in a really, really, really good spot here. All right, this is a bit ballsy here. You just lay down this unraveled earth, and then the enemy team can't engage on the play. I'm not quite sure what that was, Alison, mate. Maybe a bit of desperation. I really don't know what that was, but either way, playing off the enemy's mistakes. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Kaz getting a bit too aggro here as well. Oof, cheeky. I mean, this guy was like, Tarzan was like 0, 3, and 5, and now he's 3, 4, and 13. Like, the ability to come back in League, it's so easy to give up at that point, you know, when you're losing, the enemy jungler is destroying the map, but just, if you just stick with it, you know, you're sorted, right? You just can't get rank 1 and maximize your win percentage without knowing how to play from behind. Even if you're relying on throws from the enemy team, you can argue, oh, that's so unreliable against good people, it's not going to happen. Mate, Kaz is arguably one of the best solo queue junglers in the world. And it was his engage that threw the game. Yeah, you can certainly play around that stuff, but it's also really important to know as well, guys, that Talia kept farming. I mean, look at Talia's farm. It's not low by any standards. It's a decent amount of farm. Because he wasn't trying to just keep forcing these plays. And especially, alright, here we go. You know what, I'll get to this point a bit after on. But let's see what you want to do here, mate. Because you do have someone down here, but it's Fiora just insting again, so never mind. Right, so we're going to do a thing, whatever. Oh. He's not coming in. But if you're going to take one thing away from this game, guys, the biggest thing I would say he did not gank Fiora. Fiora was feeding her ass off. And he did not gank her. Why? Because it's so much better to... Ooh, my lordy. That's a wombo combo right there. The blue team actually jumping in onto the red side there and deciding to take that fight. They are the aggressors, the initiators of that one. And Talia with that ability to just slam down the unraveled earth. Anyone around that zone just gets absolutely chunked. And the seismic shove as well. The combo there, absolutely vile. Absolutely disgusting. That is the scenario that the red team want to find themselves in. That is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, don't gank losing lanes, fellas. Don't gank losing lanes. Don't give up on games. That is how Tarzan is rank 1 with a 70% win rate. Because he is an absolute beast. But he doesn't smurf every game. You don't have to hard smurf, guys. There's more skill to it than that. Either way, thanks so much for watching our gameplay today. Or our Spectate gameplay today. Thumbs up if you liked it. You can subscribe to me for more. Most importantly, guys, have a fantastic day, evening, morning, whatever it is where you're from, and I will see you in my next.